today on Oz.
You can't smell it, you can't see it.
The hidden toxin in your home
She would be vomiting profusely for days.
that may trigger a trip to the hospital.
This is happening all over America.
Plus, radio star Angie Martinez is spicing things up.
You brought for us 5 essentials for healthy Latin cooking.
The fat-free, guilt-free twist on your favorite Latin dishes.
So good.
Coming up next on Dr. Oz.
All right, you can't smell it, you can't see it, but if it's in your house, it could be the reason why you and your family are sick and don't know why. It's mold poisoning. Mold poisoning. That's what happened to Jill and her daughter Caitlin. 20 years ago, Jill moved into this beautiful Hopewell, New Jersey home. Later, she got pregnant with Caitlin. Shortly afterwards, both began suffering from unexplained health problems. I want to put this on your radar screen because it's happening all over America, and we're just beginning to figure out the details. Please welcome Jill and Caitlin. Welcome to the show. So what were you suffering from? What's been going on?
Well, it started off, I was having problems, sinus problems. I actually had 2 sinus surgeries while I was living there. But it was much worse for my daughter. Caitlin was very, very sick. She had fevers of 105.
Oh.
Unexplained illnesses. She would be vomiting profusely for days, and they really couldn't figure out why. And then my son was born a couple of years later, and he too had problems. He was needing a nebulizer just to breathe okay. So,
Caitlin, do you remember any of this growing up?
You know, Dr. Oz, I don't really remember being sick, but I really strongly remember when I had to have my stuffed animals taken away.
Oh, the most dreaded problem.
Exactly. There was a stuffed Rudolph that when you would squeeze it, it would sing, and it was one of my favorites, and I really remember losing that, and it was really hard.
So you're looking at this point for any clues, stuffed animals sort of grasping for straws. What does your doctors think were going on?
You know, they really had no idea. They first started saying, oh, well, the stomach flu's going around, or this flu or that. But she just consistently was sick. I was a stay-at-home mom. It's not like she was in daycare and picking up these things. So they tested her from everything from cystic fibrosis to different cancers. She had blood work done.
Serious diagnoses.
It was unbelievable.
So after 5 years of diligent search, what ended up being the problem?
Mold. There was mold in the house, and it was we found it in the basement, in the crawl space, and it was up the walls, and that's where their playroom was, the kids' playroom, and you know, we had no idea. So literally, we left the house that day, with our shirts on our back, and never came back. We lived with my parents for a year and had a house built.
And how about the symptoms?
They were gone. Caitlin hadn't gained any weight in a really long time. It was very scary as a mom. But she gained 9 pounds in the first 10 months when we left. It was tremendous.
And I'm doing this show today because I've heard of similar stories. And I never realized how common it was until we began looking at this. And your story, I think, is emblematic of this. Yeah. Thanks for telling it to us. All right, let me show you all how mold begins to grow in your home. How it happened with Caitlin when she was a little girl playing around, how it happens to a lot of us. So, Megan, it's happening without you knowing about it. Molds are fungi, right? They're commonly found outside. And these little dots, they're spores, they're seeds. They become airborne. That's how fungi reproduce. When they sprout out and they fly away. And they end up in places where you go. For example, they attach to your shoes, to your pets, to your clothes. Then they travel inside your home, either with you, or they can go through an open window. They can actually get through an air vent. They can go through these AC systems with these outdoor intakes. And once inside, the spores begin to attach to surfaces like wet corners, right? They find places, they'll go to a wet corner down here in a shower. They'll go to the shower head itself, right? Or if there's a leak in the wall, like over here, they'll end up going in there, and then the fungi will begin to prosper, again, in places where you don't expect it. Now, the Feeney family experienced many of the same symptoms that we just revealed. In fact, the Feeneys have been sick for years without any explanation, like so many of you. So last week, my team had their home tested for mold, and what was found will surprise them and you.
We asked home health experts Ron and Lisa Barris to test the Feeney's house. They sent in one of their testers, mold inspector Matt Waletsky. Matt has inspected hundreds of homes and businesses and found mold in 60% of them. Now he'll be able to find out once and for all if the Feeney family has toxic mold.
I'm scared to find out that there's something wrong with my home, but I'm also anxious to find out if there's something making us sick. If there's a reason for our congestion, our nasal drip, our coughs.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, I'm Rob.
Hi, Rob. Matt.
We've been having leaks in our bathroom since 2007, and it's been leaking through the ceiling downstairs.
Well, why don't you guys show me the bathroom area then that you're concerned about?
Matt first pulls out his moisture meter to detect any moisture behind the walls.
So you can see that the lower part of the wall has is higher than the upper part of the wall. And I can see a little bit of cracking here in the grout work as well. That could be a potential source.
He then uses a humidity meter to get a read on the overall moisture in the room. Nothing unusual. So he heads down to the basement.
So we want to look downstairs because if there's moisture in the bathroom, that can leak down, and so we want to look underneath to see there could be some mold issues there as well.
This is where our daughter plays with her friends a lot of the times, and having a leak down here and potentially mold is a concern for us. About 3 weeks ago, it leaked right here. You can see where the wood is separating.
In the Feeney's basement, Matt removes some wood panels. And sure enough, there are water stains, a telltale sign of leaks. Matt takes a surface sample of the suspicious-looking white residue, then uses a thermal imaging camera to detect moisture invisible to the naked eye.
Moisture conducts heat differently, and so it'll typically show up as a blue color. I'm not seeing any areas where there's current moisture.
Next, Matt tests the air throughout the house for any sign of mold. In the daughter's bedroom, because she always has a cough, the master bathroom, and the living room.
This test basically can suck air in through this collection device, and the lab can actually read how many mold spores are on the cassette.
Last place to check, the attic, where mold often grows.
Attics oftentimes have areas of hidden mold that the owners may not have any idea that's there.
Matt discovers something that alarms him.
So this area down here, you can see a lot of a black substance, which most likely is mold.
A final surface test and Matt's mold inspection is done. He'll send his test to an independent lab. And today, we reveal the results.
Health home experts Ron and Lisa Beres are here, along with Danielle and Robert Feeney. So Danielle, we can't be certain, no one can right now, whether the mold is causing your family's problems. But why did you begin to suspect it was an issue?
Well, for years I've been having ear, nose, and throat problems. I had pneumonia, neurological problems. I've been to numerous doctors and haven't found anything. And I'm still suffering, and I see my daughter starting to suffer. I had her tested for CF. She had the sweat test done. Right. Came back negative, thank God.
Thank goodness.
But yeah.
So a lot of chronic issues, no answers, you've been looking.
Right.
So mold, I think, ought to be on everyone's radar screen in these kinds of scenarios. They don't have to be quite as severe even as yours for us to begin thinking about it. So Ron and Lisa, you have the results of the mold test.
We do. So in the basement of your home, we found high levels of two of the most common molds that are found in homes, which are cladosporium and aspergillus. Now these can cause hay fever-like symptoms like you've been having, as well as asthma to those that are allergic. All right, so that's what we found in the basement. In the attic, we found two molds there as well. We found penicillium, which is another common household mold, and this can be highly allergenic. And we found Stachybotrys mold. That is the black stuff that Matt showed. Now, Stachybotrys has the potential to be extremely toxic because of the mycotoxins that it produces. Now, these can be linked to sick building syndrome, bleeding, internal damage of the organs. So it's dormant right now, but it's a potential health hazard if this should become airborne. So all of these spores can actually become airborne, circulate through your home through the ventilation system. So this is a concern.
Okay. Black mold.
Black mold. We hear of it as black toxic mold, and that's really what we're dealing with here in a high level.
So Ron, any idea how long this has been going on?
Well, our homes are the perfect environment for mold to grow. There's oxygen, there's optimal temperature, there's a food source of the building materials in our home. The only thing missing is a water source. So I highly suspect, ever since the big leak in your home, that's when the mold started to grow.
Okay. So Robert, as you hear this right now, what are you feeling? Is it fear, anger, frustration, relief?
Well, let me just start by saying, let me apologize to Danielle, because I thought she was overreacting. I thought she was a little off base. So I'm sorry. But
I'm glad you cleared the air on that one. that could really be an issue. And he did it publicly, which is even better.
Yes, thank you. But I'm relieved to know that this may be a cause for what Danielle and our daughter Megan is feeling, So I think more or less relief, So.
I'd feel relief too if I were you.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating to walk around without knowing for sure. And when I hear stories of people moving out of a home and their whole life changing,
Right.
which I always thought was a bit of an exaggeration until I began studying a bit more, I realized we have a tremendous amount of opportunity if we begin to look at some of these issues. Maybe bring in a colleague, he's a pain specialist and a former clinical professor at Columbia Medical School, Dr. Jim Dillard, who's seen the effects of mold firsthand. So, please explain to folks what it's like being in practice and seeing these kinds of patients. What are they like?
Well, I have people come to me all the time who come for neurological problems, as you said. I see more and more of these cases because I'm looking for them. But you can only find this out by doing good medical testing beyond the usual stuff. The medical establishment doesn't really believe that mold exposure is dangerous. But that's contradicted by 30 years of good scientific evidence. The tricky part is that diagnosing these people is tough because mold illness mimics many other illnesses. I have people come to me who think that they have had chronic Lyme syndrome, numbness and tingling, persistent nerve pain, brain fog, and these people actually turn out to have significant mold poisoning, which we can prove by good laboratory analysis. Mold is a serious health problem.
Thank you for that insight. I think it's what the front lines are seeing now. Let's just go over here. I want to show everybody, Phoenix and everybody, you guys stay seated. This is for everybody. What should you do if you have mold in the house, as we just showed that little piece, in order to get it out? And I'm going to walk you through what everyone needs to do today to make sure this is not part of the problems you're facing in life.
Okay, now if you have visible signs of mold in a small area, 10 square feet or less, like the Feeney's had downstairs in the basement, you can clean it yourself with detergent and water or 3% hydrogen peroxide. Now we recommend using gloves and a mask because you don't want to get re-exposed to these mold spores as they become airborne. Really important. You just spray the detergent or the peroxide on the mold, let it sit for like 10 minutes, and then scrub the mold away.
Okay.
Now, if you have a large area of contamination like the Feeney's had in the attic, you definitely want to hire a professional. Okay, so if you're having symptoms, you're feeling sick, but you don't know what it is, and you don't see visible mold, which is very common, you can get a DIY, affordable and reliable test kit like this. They run about $50, and they check for 100 different types of mold, and you'll get test results back from an accredited laboratory.
All right, so no matter whether you see it visually or you just want to check because you're having some of these symptoms you're talking about, easy answers. Okay, prevention is the key though. So let's walk through what people can do in their home today to make sure their families don't end up like some of the folks we've talked to today. So walk us through it.
Okay, first and foremost, if there's a water leak, you have to identify and you have to fix it right away. Because in 24 to 48 hours, the mold is gonna grow and you have to make sure you're really active to get that finished. Number two, you want to make sure that you don't have carpeting in your bathroom or your actual basement because it's literally just a food source for mold.
Okay, and what's the third tip?
Excellent. Third and finally, you want to make sure when you take your shower, Dr. Oz, that you actually ventilate the bathroom. And you also want to ventilate the kitchen as well when you're cooking with an exhaust fan, or you want to make sure you open the windows to kind of reduce that moisture in your home.
Good steps. Okay, now there's some products that, Lisa, you argue we ought to be thinking through more carefully. And if you want, walk us through, these are things you're going to do to prevent the growth of mold in your homes, in addition to some of the preventive strategies.
Absolutely. Proactive measures are key. So you can use an air conditioner or a dehumidifier in your home, and this will keep the humidity levels low, which is what we really want. And if you have a basement, I advise putting a dehumidifier down there. This is a common spot for mold to grow, and it'll help reduce that moisture. All right, now you also want to change the furnace filter, which is your HVAC system, your heating and cooling system. You need to change that every 3 months. Good rule of thumb is to do that once every season because these will remove over 90% of airborne mold spores that pass through it. When you're looking for a healthy living filter, they literally capture those airborne mold spores, so very important.
So for the Feeney's, we did a little air test. There was mold in the air in their home, right?
Right. We found mold in the air and in the surface test.
So if you're going to miss it in the walls, because they can hide, at least get it out of the air so it's not affecting your family.
Exactly. Yes.
Wonderful advice. Important stuff. Please start acting on this. We'll be right back.
Next, Radio star Angie Martinez is on a culinary adventure, making Latin food better for you without losing any of the flavor. Lively, robust recipes while staying healthy. Plus her top 5 kitchen pantry essentials for perfect Latin cooking. Next. All new Oz. An identity victim shows how easy it is for thieves to steal his medical info.
Is your password the name of a TV host?
You actually have that? See how to outsmart crooks. That's coming up tomorrow.
I absolutely adore our next guest. Angie Martinez has been a radio star for years, interviewing some of the biggest names in the world, from music legends to presidents. And now she's taken her lifelong passion for Latin food to a whole new level with her very first, here it is, cookbook, Healthy Latin Eating. Please welcome Angie Martinez.
Hey guys!
Everyone loves Latin food.
I know.
The question is, where do you learn it? Who taught you your first steps on how to make
You
this
learn
happen?
it growing up, especially when you have a family like mine. My grandmother used to cook on the weekends. We'd go to her house so that everybody be in the kitchen on the weekends. And then, you know, over the years, I always liked to eat it, and I would always be worried when I ate it because a lot of it was fried, a lot of it. My grandmother literally used to have like a thing of lard on the side.
Oh my goodness.
I know, this is not good for you to hear, right? This probably gives you like palpitations.
Are you passing it along to the rest of the kids now?
Yeah, that's the goal, is to keep some of those recipes because I don't want to feel guilty. I want, when I'm dieting, not necessarily dieting, but watching what I eat and trying to eat healthy, I still want to eat the things that I grew up on and still want to have those flavors. So that was the whole thing of the book. And so I had this idea, like, I still want to eat this food, and I would start making these recipes on my own and with my friends. And then I met Angelo Sosa, who's my partner in the book, who's an amazing chef. And he's really like brilliant at fusion, mixing like spicy with sweet, and it was a perfect, I don't know, it just was perfect. And so I'm really proud of it and the recipes. And
you brought for us 5 essentials for healthy Latin cooking. We're gonna start with these building blocks, and you can make us some food. So walk us through these first.
Olive oil.
Sure.
Better than the thing of lard on the side of the
Your
stove.
grandmother would roll over in her grave, but you're right.
She's here. She's still with us.
Oh, she's still with us. Then she won't roll over in her grave.
And she'll
just roll over.
By the way, in her defense.
Don't change your channel, Grandma.
By the way, in her defense, the lard is not there. Hasn't been there for years. This was growing up. It was there. So olive oil, because you know you can use it in salads. You use it to cook. It's really versatile, and you know the health benefits of that, of course. Avocados.
Yeah.
Everybody like it?
Better than butter.
We have really good guacamole, like not traditional, but like guacamole recipes in the book too. Quinoa, of course, is great, especially a lot of Latin recipes call for rice, which is like empty calories. And you can still get the same seasoning, you flavors. You can put the same seasoning that you would do in like an arroz con pollo and make it with quinoa instead.
Oh, we got to excited. Rosca
They
pollo.
like it?
The audience is dancing over there.
It's a party?
It's a party.
The next time I'm here, we're going to make that.
It's a party in your mouth. Rosca pollo.
This could go crazy.
Yes, it
right
could
now.
be. Very
This could
the
go
wrong
down,
direction.
Dr. Oz. Okay. Pumpkin seeds?
Yep.
You like?
I love pumpkin seeds.
Seeds
of
are
course.
good, right?
Yeah.
We put you know what we do with these? We put them on top of guacamole. Just like a little, and it gives it like a little crunch with it's really good.
Yeah, it's just the
Put
seeds
them
of
in
life.
salads, seeds of life.
And of course, chipotle.
Chipotle.
But you dried them up? Little
Yeah,
powders?
they're dried, a little powder, because you can use that in like sauces, salsas, and gives it a little kick.
All right.
We like
so,
kick.
what are you making for us today? Apparently, a watermelon gazpacho, I hear, is on the
Correct.
menu.
It is on the menu. Remember, I was telling you, Angelo's really good at mixing sweet and sour, so this is perfect. It's like a light, easy, springy, and it's like, look how this could be done in 30 seconds. We're gonna put everything in the Do you wanna help me
I'll
out?
help you out a little bit. So-
Peppers, onions,
Tomatoes.
watermelon, tomatoes. So you got sweet, spicy, red wine vinegar.
Don't waste it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, you wanted to take a shot?
No, you said red wine first. I thought there was
Vinegar is
vinegar.
not gonna be exciting for you, no. We can have wine later, perhaps.
That's right.
This looks like a lot.
What is that? Oh, sugar.
A little sugar. That looks like a lot there.
Little sugar's okay, although watermelon's pretty sweet to begin with, so it's tomatoes.
Yeah, that'll be enough there.
Can you put it on and blend
Give
it
it a
up?
little blend. Yeah, do you want me to do it?
Please do. Now, the audience has some while you're blending that.
Huh?
The audience
What?
has got some. Give it a taste, guys, over there. Let me see what you guys think. Now, Dave, watermelon's fantastic for a lot of reasons. It helps degunk your arteries. It lowers your blood pressure. All the things that you want Latin food to do because you'll be dancing later on and feeling the joy of life.
Are you a dancer?
I like dancing. I don't do it well, but I like, oh, it's good.
Is it good? Good.
Isn't it spicy, guys?
There's a little kick, a little spice, a little sweet.
But where did the spices? I didn't see the spices
There's
going there.
jalapeno pepper, and there's peppers and onions in there.
Oh, I missed the jalapeno peppers. Yeah, you can taste the jalapeno. But you guys, are you okay in the audience still?
Oh.
Look at them. They're suffering over there.
No,
They
come
didn't
on.
realize.
That's really good.
I'm very happy. All right, next
I
time.
love spicy and sweet together.
I love it too.
It's so good. Oh,
the-
sorry, I'm not here to eat.
No, you can eat if you want.
Okay.
Now, this next part's important because you have to get a little protein. This is a grilled chicken with pineapple jalapeno marinade.
Doesn't that sound good? Again, spicy sweet. We have a theme here.
Yeah. So you have to beat up the chicken?
I want you to beat the chicken up. And I want you to really be aggressive and get at it.
Just
There you go, get it out.
All right.
Holding on to stress is not healthy.
I'm going to beat this one over here, too.
No, that's what's already been beaten. It's
All right.
It's okay.
All right.
It's going to be okay. So when you beat it like that, it helps it to like cook even and faster.
So tell me how you made the marinade.
This has been marinated. This is, where are our ingredients for the marinade?
Just make it up. Maybe it's
we have
these things over here. Yeah, we'll put it on the screen.
Same thing.
I made it at home on the way in.
Okay, good.
All right, so you put the jalapenos with a little pesto, or is that?
Yeah, cilantro in
cilantro.
there. Look at you.
Oh, I'm very good.
This has been marinating in the sauce.
How long do you marinate it for?
Then you grill it. I put it in the refrigerator. I'd put it in for overnight or a couple hours. Depends how committed you want to be to it, how much time you have.
Yeah, I'm committed to this.
You'll be
So while that's cooking, I'm going to give this a taste to do quality control on this.
Okay, and it's over some salad and, again, sweet, sour, sweet, spicy.
Oh, it's moist.
Of course it's moist.
That's the biggest mistake we make. All right, finally, you're just a spicy person, Angie. So spicy, I couldn't get away without the spicy dark chocolate tamales. This is one of her favorites. The perfect dessert. So
I would like a little disclaimer that you should not eat the whole thing, Trey, because that would defeat the purpose completely.
So how do you make these?
There's chocolate. Listen, like I said, you don't want to eat a whole tray.
Oh,
it is a
it's
dessert.
so good.
It's so good. But the original recipe, we cut out like half the butter of the original recipe to try to make it a little better.
You don't need it. It's
and
really
we
good.
supplemented it. Yeah, we put a little canola oil.
It's really good, yeah.
Go crazy.
It's a good idea.
This is good. I'm so happy.
Thank you very much for being here.
Did you give your wife a copy of the book,
Yes,
please?
in fact, I want you all to go out and get one. Angie's great book is called Healthy Latin Eating. We're enjoying it at our house. It's available now, and you can learn more about Angie in her exclusive Oz 5 video on DrOz.com. We'll be right back.
Next, do you ever wish you could just stop aging? Low energy and lack of sleep making you feel older than you really are? Learn how simple changes in your routine can boost your vitality. The plan to slow down aging and reinvigorate your life. Next.
You only have one life to live, so nothing's more important than feeling as young and as vital as possible. But if you think you're aging too fast, the truth is you have the power to outsmart the clock. So let me ask the audience, who feels older than they really are? Let me see a show of hands. Oh, a couple people here. Let me go over here. You had your hand up. Take that if you don't mind. How old do you feel? You don't have to actually tell me how old you truly are, but how old do you feel?
27, 28.
That's a good age, I think. I love to feel. So what makes you worried about how old you feel versus your true age?
Well, compared to my age, I would say stress makes me feel older than I am, and just worrying and the responsibility that kicks in after a certain threshold. So.
Right. So stress and responsibility.
Yes.
Perfect. Let me keep going. You had your hand up also?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Reluctantly.
Yeah. So I think it's because I sit and work all day in front of a computer, and I feel like my body is aging really fast because of that.
Okay. So you may not be able to control your chronological age. That's already written in stone. But you can't control your vitality age. So in order to get your vitality age younger than your chronological age, you got to think differently about what you're doing in life. So I want everyone to take a look at Camille's story. I'm sure a lot of you can relate.
I feel like a 70-year-old trapped in a 51-year-old body. I used to have tons of energy, but lately I feel like I'm dragging through life, like the wind's been taken out of my sail. I'm just like always kind of sluggish. It's not just my insides that feel old, I'm starting to feel old on the outside. Now when I look in the mirror, I see bags under my eyes, like a little sagging. I can't lose weight. I feel like my body's working against me. I go to the gym, I eat right, I try to stay active and I walk a lot, and I still feel like my scale is stuck. I feel like the light went out and that I'm not the person that I used to be. I really want to enjoy my 50s from the inside out.
So Camille, you're describing your body as something that's actually working against you.
Yes.
Let me just start to feel this change happening in your body.
About 5 years ago, my eldest daughter left for college. My mom, who lived with me for 20 years, and I was her caregiver, we moved her to Florida to have a better life. And last year, my youngest is now in college. And you go from like feeling vibrant and bright to like 5 years ago starting to have the candle flicker a little bit. And then this year, it's like I'm feeling burnt.
Use this word, candle flickering, this phrase.
Yes.
Which is an interesting one. I think a lot of people can identify with it. Coming up here, I want to take you through a little voyage.
Okay.
You like reading books?
Yes, I do.
All right, so I love books too. I love everything printed. So I'm going to, if I can, explain your life in the form of a book. Because a lot of us look at aging like it's a book.
Okay.
A book about us. So for example, what do books have? They have chapters. So the first chapter in a book usually is our childhood chapter.
Yes.
Right? Cute baby, by the way. That is you, right?
Yes, that's
There's
me and my dad. My dad passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah, but you got mom still.
Yes, I do.
Right.
And I take care of her.
But this chapter, everyone with mom here is still gone, right? You're
Yes.
not a child anymore. In fact, you got to do your own. So let's flip it forward. Chapter 2 for most of us is our adolescence chapter. We do
Yes.
foolish things, but we do fun things.
Yeah.
Things that give great outfits, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Nice little hat there.
I used to be silent.
So all these events that we get to become part of our memories, and that's a nice thing. Then we want to get on with life. We get married.
Yes.
Right? We have a marriage chapter.
And I had a great marriage.
Yeah.
25 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll be 30 years this year.
Oh, congratulations.
So best thing I ever did, getting married.
Thank you.
And for most of us, we feel that way. Sometimes it doesn't work that way as we desire, but it is a chapter of our life. Move on past that. There's a fourth chapter, which is parenthood.
Yes.
Comes in different people sometimes. Doesn't happen at all, but it's often there.
These are my girls.
And then what happens? Then what happens?
I know. Then what's the next
Right,
chapter?
the kids are gone, and it's just a big question mark. Most of us, by this time in our life, are only halfway through our life.
Yes.
And yet, the book is done. You haven't filled the rest of the pages. And before we resign ourselves to old age, the truth is, we've got a lot of writing to do. A lot of things that matter have to fill the rest of our lives.
Yes.
And that's why I felt passionately about this, because I think a lot of us forget that reality. Your kids need you and love you, but they need you to be there for yourself.
Yes.
Not a resigned, passive, but actually fulfilled. And the question for you is, what are you going to fill those pages with?
I know.
Have you decided?
Well, I did get a promotion at work, so
Good.
that's a plus, but I'm looking to do things for myself. You know, I love painting, I love dancing and Zumba, so I do that. But
You like Zumba?
Yes, I always Zumba.
Are you doing it?
Yes, I do it.
I like that. That's right. I love that. And the reason I like that so much is because as you write these chapters, many of which will have emotional elements, your body has to be there for you.
I know.
So when you say your body's holding you back from being there,
Yeah.
well, that's a problem because you can't get that back so readily. So let's
Okay.
combine those issues. I've got a plan to help stop down aging.
Yes.
It's going to work. And it's also going to work because you're going to, by stopping down aging of your body, keep your mind intact. So come on over here. I want you to meet Caroline Apovian. She's a world expert in this area.
Nice to meet you. Nice to
Caroline,
meet
how
you.
does someone like Camille get their zest back for life?
So Camille, you know, we're hearing about your story.
Yes.
You can't control everything around you and everything in your life, but you know what? You can control your body. And when you rejuvenate your body, your mind and your spirit are going to follow. And so the plan that we're going to talk about is going to help your next chapter be a page turner. And that's what we want.
Good, thank you.
It's not the last chapter, it's the next chapter.
Yeah.
Many
Next
more to come.
chapter.
When we come back,
Good,
Dr.
thank
Apovian
you.
has the plan to stop aging too fast. You won't believe the simple changes you can make in your routine to get you looking and feeling younger. Stay with us.
Coming up, no energy, exhausted? Do you wish you didn't feel so old? Find out how you can get back your inner fountain of youth. Easy steps to rejuvenate your mind and your body. The plan to stop aging too fast and feel younger inside and out. Next. All new Oz. An identity victim shows how easy it is for thieves to steal his medical info.
Is your password the name of a TV host?
You actually have that? See how to outsmart crooks. That's coming up tomorrow.
Camille says something we can all relate to. She says she feels like her light went out inside, like it's just flickering inside there. To help her and many of you, Dr. Caroline Apovian is back with her plan to stop aging too fast. Now, her first step is to reboot our bodies by incorporating amino acids into our diet. Why are they important and which ones do you have to focus on?
So amino acids are the building blocks of our bodies. The three most important are right here. So I'm going to build these for you. So leucine, arginine, and glutamine. Guess what? They spell out lag. So you can remember, because if you're lagging, it means you need more of these, right? Okay. Leucine, arginine, glutamine. Forget about the names. You know why? Because they're in the foods that we can find every day. And here they are.
She's like Carol Merrill over there. Reveals.
So when you lag, that means you need more protein, more amino acids. We find these in eggs. Eggs are wonderful things. They're building blocks. Low-fat dairy, milk, cheese, and yogurt, but even animal protein, shrimp, meat, fish, and you know what? The hero here is turkey. Turkey has a lot of arginine and also a lot of stuff that helps us with sleep, which we'll talk about next. Yes. But if you're a vegetarian, you find these amino acids in soybeans and lentils and other legumes. So make sure you get a lot of these during the day, hopefully at each meal, to prevent lag.
Okay. All right, next up, we're going to revitalize a routine for brain health. So Dr. Apovian, how does this help?
So your brain, very important. So as you're going through your life, if you have a routine and it's predictable, guess what? Life gets very boring.
Okay.
So you say you like to dance, Zumba, painting, do it. You know why? Because your neurons will regenerate, because when you do new things, it makes new connections and you feel wonderful. You feel a zest for life again. Make that chapter a page turner, your next chapter. Make it wild and crazy.
And we talked about sleep earlier, but let me just finish on this.
Yes.
We want you to actually schedule your stress.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to get the sleep that you need. Dr. Apovian, it sounds very counterintuitive. How do you schedule stress?
Well, do you sleep enough at
No,
night?
what
happens?
I wake up like 3 times a night, you know, worrying about everything, about work, my children, my mother.
So, when you're worried about this at 3 in the morning, is it going to help to work? You know what? You need your sleep. You need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night because your cells need to rejuvenate.
Yes.
And sleep is very important. It's very restful, gets you back going. So what are you going to do? Whenever you're worried, you find yourself in the middle of the night worrying about everything, schedule a time to stress about it, not when you're sleeping. Stop.
Okay.
Maybe write it down.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about this tomorrow when I have rested. And that would be a great way to try to get that 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night.
That would be nice.
It would be wonderful for everybody.
Thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate it. Good luck with everybody.
Thank you.
You can get the full plan and information from all of our TrueTube experts on DrOz.com. And make sure to check out Dr. Carolyn Apovian's book, The Age-Defying Diet. We'll be right back.
What's your favorite natural anti-aging solution?
I am in love with everything olive oil. It's nature's best moisturizer in my opinion, and has helped the women in my family for years. Highly recommended.
Share yours on Facebook.com/Dr. Oz. Next, do you make a lot of excuses when it comes time to exercise and eat right? Change your mindset and stop procrastinating. Dr. Oz's personal trainer is here to get you moving and motivated. Easy fitness and no excuses. Coming up next.
We are bringing healthy back this season and want you to bring it too. Grab your prescription pad for fun and sign up for free tickets today. You can go to DrOz.com/tickets and sign up. Did I get it right? Today you're going to meet the man who says there are no more excuses. He's going to help you stop procrastinating and start exercising. He happens to be my personal trainer, Donovan Green. Come on out. Before you start, you got a whole cheering section over there. The first lady wants us to give five things to make you healthier. What are you going to give me right now? Do it.
5 push-ups.
Push-ups.
Here we go.
I'm going to sit on him.
Get on my back, Mehmet. Let's go. Come on, Mehmet. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, he keeps me going. He's always up.
Always up.
What's the secret? How do you get folks psyched up to get out of the doldrums of just delay and procrastination?
Simple. Change your attitude. If you can think it, you can achieve it. That's a simple real.
Donovan, because he also works out my wife, not because of me, my wife, he actually knows every excuse in the book.
Yep.
And he can get to them and get to all you as well. So we're going to do it. You got a response for everyone. Are you ready?
Got him.
Let's say when someone says, I'm too busy.
All I need is 20 minutes from you.
I have an injury. It hurts right back here.
We can work around the injury.
My kids, they're taking up too much time.
Work out with them.
I'm tired. Too tired.
Exercise gives you energy.
I can't afford the gym memberships.
Your living room is free.
The sun's in my eyes.
Close your eyes.
Okay, come on. So, these are all the things Donovan has got in my house, he made me get them all. And again, you were cost conscious, you didn't have to be, but you say you do this for all your clients. So
Yes.
what are these and why are they so important?
So let's start with the jump rope first of all. Very effective, only $5. You're working your whole body, great cardio. Your exercise mat, you can use sit-ups, you can do push-ups, you can do anything you want in this thing. Guess what? $10.
Yep.
You have your resistance band. This is a traveling gym. You can travel with this. Look at this. I can fold this up. Pop that bad boy in the pocket.
Security will pull you over with that. TSA will get you. They'll be all over you for that.
$12.
All right.
And your ball, $15.
Total thing.
Total body workout.
Ladies, you guys ready? We got
ready?
some audience members. Here, take this. Walk that over there.
Yeah,
I'll
let me
grab
take that.
this.
I'm going to skip this over there, as a matter of fact.
This is why he jumps ropes everywhere he goes. Imagine seeing him in the streets of New York doing this.
Here.
Come on.
Here we go. What's up, people?
All right. Y'all ready to go?
We're ready. Yeah.
All right, you have no idea what you
you
agreed to. Donovan, walk us through what we're going to do every single day.
Love you. Okay, so the first move we're going to
I didn't get an I love you. How come they got an I love you?
Give me a hug. All right. The first move we're working on is called a squat to an overhead press. Okay? The way that works, you basically want to step on the band about shoulder width apart. You can try. I would love it. Then you're going to pull the band up all the way to the top. You want to push your butt back. Keep your knees behind the toes and press all the way up to the ceiling. Fight it.
Oh, this is harder than it looks.
Yes, it is. And bring it back down. And repeat that for 30 seconds. Look at that form. Keep on going. I'm going to watch you. You're not getting away. Remember, you got this. You keep on going, Dr. Oz.
I am so good at this thing.
Let me help you out.
Okay, ready?
Explode. Breathe. Explode. Explode.
Make it work. Make it
no
work.
Excuses. No excuses. Up. Come on. Cheer them on.
30 seconds. It must be up. Don, is that 30 yet?
Good job.
Are we at 30 yet? That
He's
feels
still
like
going.
30.
He's still going. He's still going.
God, they're not even doing it anymore. And then we get the standard crunch.
You get the standard crunch. So now we use the ball. Okay? And don't forget, you have to use both sides. This is not going to be a one-side exercise. So remember, you owe me the other side when we go in the back. So now, let's roll all the way forward. Allow the ball to contour to your back. Take your hands, put it behind the head. Lift up, squeeze, and back. Up again, squeeze, hold it, and back. Keep on going. Squeeze.
Oh, this feels good.
Pretend you have an apple underneath your chin. Look up to the ceiling, handsome. Here we go. Squeeze.
Ooh.
How we doing over there, everybody? Yeah.
Listen.
Ladies, how we doing?
Well, I'm suffering in pain over here. For more ways to stop procrastinating, pick up Donovan's book, No Excuses Fitness. Is absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
The 30-day plan to tone your body and supercharge your health. You can find all of Donovan Green's No Excuses workouts at DrOz.com. Help me!
Yeah,
Someone
baby.
help me! We'll be right back.
And you're done.
All new Oz. An identity victim shows how easy it is for thieves to steal his medical info.
Is your password the name of a TV host?
You actually have that? See how to outsmart crooks. That's coming up tomorrow.
So we got some really exciting news last week. Our show was nominated for three Emmys, and I couldn't be any prouder of my team here. Really am, you guys. So, my daughter Daphne is actually one of the co-hosts of The Truth. She was also nominated in the same category as me for Best Host. So there's a little father-daughter competition thing going on, a little brewing at home competition. Daphne, honey, you there?
I am. I'm here. Congratulations on your nominations.
Same to you, beautiful one. I know that Mommy is rooting for you. Did she tell you that she's on Team Daphne?
I don't know about that. I think she's going both ways. She's telling one of us something and the other the other.
No, she told me right to my face she's rooting for you. That's what moms do, so I don't blame her. Listen, you make me proud every single day. I know you know that. But I'm pretty competitive. If you remember as a little girl, I'd never let you win. So
I had to earn it. That's right.
It builds character. So I thought maybe we could make this a little bit more interesting if you're willing to make a side wager on the Best Host Emmy. What do you think?
I like it. Yeah, this isn't, your regular old game of Oz Family Football. Let's get some money on this.
This is real Oz Olympics. So here's what we're going to do. Now, I know you're the culinary one, but I do have some, I don't know, maybe I call them eccentric food favorites. You dread any of my favorite foods, honey?
You do have a proclivity to eat the fish eyeballs that I'm
I
probably
love
not that into that idea.
So,
yeah.
well, I love fish eyeballs. I love fish cheeks, so I thought I'd combine it all together. I have right here what I'm willing to wager with you, okay? If I win, then you're going to have to deal with a SLT. That's a sardine, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
Oh.
Now,
I'm going to smell like a cat.
Oh, you also like that. You're gonna like this. There's 3 pounds of extra salty, fresh sardines in here. I want the audience to watch carefully. Now notice.
Nasty.
Now, here's the sardine. Now, eyes, cheeks, the whole thing. Of course, the beautiful part about this, these little buggers are between whole wheat bread. All you gotta do is eat a couple of pounds of these little babies if I win.
Don't even.
I won't eat it right now.
That.
We're gonna save this for later. But here's the one thing: you're gonna need some dental floss because the scales of these little things they get stuck between your teeth.
Oh, that's okay. Wait, that whole sandwich I have to eat?
As much as you can, I'll help you with it. How's that? I love these things. They're so good. Oh.
Do you have a gag bucket on hand? Okay, fine. I see your SLT, and I raise you a plate of fried chocolate sandwich cookies. You have to eat 1,000 calories of these bad boys, these state fair favorites, with a smile on your face.
What are they exactly? I can't even tell what those things are.
Deep fried chocolate sandwich cookies.
I didn't know
they
you
have
could
a brand
fry.
name that I can't say.
I didn't know. How do you fry sandwich cookies? It's impossible.
All will be revealed to you. It is a time-honored tradition of dipping it in basically batter and then dropping it in a deep fryer. And I don't think you've ever had one of these. I'm not sure. You can't make that face when you hand me an SLT and then I hand you a deep fried sandwich cookie. Come on.
I bet that's Mario's idea. Here's the deal. I'm going to take the bet. If you win, I will eat your fried, I'm going to say it, fried Oreos. And if I win, then you got to take a honking bite out of this sardine, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Is that a deal?
All right. I'm hoping to win. That's all I'm saying.
I love you, beautiful one. Kiss that little philo for me. And good luck in the Emmys.
Thank you. You guys too.
Now it's time for In Case You Missed It. First, I'm introducing a phrase I want on everyone's radar: mold poisoning. You can't always see or smell it, but it could be making you sick, very sick. Here's how you can protect your home. You want to keep it free of moisture. It's the most important common denominator of these recommendations. First off, you can use a dehumidifier. A dehumidifier, especially in a boiler room or a basement, can get a lot of the extra moisture out. You can change the HVAC filters every 3 months to get rid of some of the mold spores. These mold spores can fly through the air and they can hide in places you don't see. So this will help you with that. Finally, please be careful of dubious people online that make it seem like I endorse their products because I don't. To see a full list of our trusted sponsorship partners, you go to droz.com, and I'll see you next time.